Hey, what's going on, Bucks County, located on Fair the Dare Lane? Basically, man, I know it's been a while since I dropped a video about our Milwaukee Bucks. Um, but I can definitely say with since the last time I was here up until now, I'm not happy. I'm not sold on a championship season with the Bucks, man. I don't see it. When you detail it looks like some of the things we've seen in the past, last year in the playoffs, years prior. It just looks like nothing has changed, man. And I really don't know what the real issue is. I can't say if it's the scheme or the players, but I can only agree that something has to change at this point. When you look at that little stretch when Giannis missed some games, it was times where it just looked like Khris Middleton, man. It doesn't look like he wants to be that guy. He doesn't look like everybody wants to be that person, that star, that steps up in that moment, whether it's just dominating from the course of the game or just showing pure dominance one on one. Like, your defender can't stop you. And I'm not saying Middleton is not a good player. He's way better than me. He's way better than a lot of people in the league. So I'm not saying that. I just think this is probably the worst contract in some time, man. And I just think for the contract and the production, I'm not trying to turn this into a Khris Middleton bash video, but it just looks like at this point, man, if Giannis had a legit number two, this team will produce way more efficient and at a higher level. And you can't really, I know a lot of us are used to the defense thing, the defense that came with the Milwaukee Bucks over, since the last 3 to 4 years, man. They've been pretty efficient on the defensive end. But as far as just overall, they can't get over the hump. And it's teams that on paper, are less talented and they still end up victorious. And that's something that is plaguing Fear the Deer Drive, man. It's to the point now where you really have to look at the team, whether you're going to make a move on a coach or some of the players, because Giannis locked in. He made that a very easy process. He had a year left. He had a 1 year left on his deal, and he still signed the contract. He didn't wait to the last minute or second like some other players did, and I think that needs to be honored, man. A lot of players don't have that type of loyalty, man. So y'all need to get it together, man. Get Giannis a legit number two. I like Drew Holiday. They definitely had to extend him based off of the package they gave up to bring in his talent. But at the same time, we need to see a more finished product. We can't really judge him right now based off of he just came off an injury, and this is his first actual season with this team, and he's already he's playing at some may say it's inconsistent, but I think he's playing well. He's a great defender, and he does what Khris Middleton can do. He knows how to play make. He knows how to, if the defense breaks down, he knows how to either create his own shot or set up a teammate. And I'm not trying to say Khris Middleton can't do that, but it's not on a everyday, every game basis. It was one game over the last 4 or 5 games. He had about 7 assists. So I know he can pass the ball, but how often can he display these talents, man? Because when you look at the East, it's no cakewalk. We're gonna need every hand on deck, man. We need, if you're able to do more than one thing well, we're gonna need that every game, because the Eastern Conference, man, like right now, this might be the best Eastern Conference we've seen in some time. When you just look at it might be top heavy, but I feel like even some of these other teams, man, they're going to fight. Like even the Knicks, they're surprising. A lot of teams, a lot of players didn't think, or a lot of fans didn't think, and even analysts, they didn't see the Knicks making the playoffs, let alone actually having a great record. Because when you look at the East, you can make the playoffs with 10 games under 500. You know what I mean? So that doesn't really mean nothing. But when you're a high seed and you're over 500, that says a lot. But I just think it ain't the time to be playing, man. Like, you gotta really honor Giannis, man, because like I said, he could have left. He could have drug this thing all the way out to the very last second on the clock, and he didn't do none of that. He showed y'all like, yo, I'm here to stay. You know what I mean? And when that happens, y'all gotta do something, man. Get this man a Hall of Fame coach or something. Get this man some type of asset besides just him, because like what we're looking at now is just, it's something we've seen over time. Like right now, they're considered one of the best teams in the East, record wise, regular season wise. We know this. Right now they're sitting at 35 wins, 22 losses, and you know they're actually solid. You know they're sweeping their division. You know what I mean? But it's just like, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like I just want to see more. I want to see better, because I know what's going on around the East, man. A lot of teams are stacking up, and I want Giannis to get a championship. I'm tired of just going to the playoffs, winning one or two rounds, and then, you know what I mean, we're going home. But we're on a 2-game losing streak, 5-5 in the last 10. And like I said, a lot of that was due to Giannis missing some games. But at the same time, I feel as though this team should be talented enough to still at least be 7-3 in the last 10, or 8-2. You know what I mean? Even though your star players out, this team is pretty stacked, man. And if it's just based off of the execution, if we're able to execute game in and game out, we win against the Suns. You know what I mean? It's just something that I don't really think that we take advantage of. You know, when we're down a player, when your star player's down, you're supposed to be, that next man up needs to be the hungriest man in America. I'm talking about like you ain't eat in 2-3 days, and this is feeding time. Like, that needs to be his attitude, and I don't see it, man. I think he's just like too laid back. You know what I mean? He's like and it's cool to have somebody like that on your team. You know what I mean? He's like a solid assassin. He can shoot. You know what I mean? He's not a bum player. I like the way, he's a threat. You know what I mean? Like, as far as open shooters, he's one of them dudes you gotta watch out for. You know what I mean? He can affect the defense, and I like that. I like what he brings to the team, but just the price tag, and then some of the games where the production where he's like the like out of everybody that's starting, he's the last, or he has the least amount of points. Like, how does that happen? If Giannis is out and you're dead last in a starting 5 as far as points for that game, like how that bothers me. So I don't know, man. I don't know if it's him or the coach. But it's either or, and one of these guys, man, they're not going to be here for too much longer. Because, like I said, man, when you see a lot of when you see what the trend is, a lot of players are going to the big cities, or they're teaming up. You know what I mean? They're making their way out of a happy environment. You know what I mean? If a player is disgruntled and they really don't want to be there, they can get up out of there. And a lot of teams are doing that. So when you see what Giannis did and what he prevented from happening, I feel bad for him, man. I feel bad because I don't think this team is going to win a championship with Khris Middleton and Coach Bud. One of them has to go. Maybe they both have to go. I don't know. But I'm just over it, man. So thank y'all for tuning in, and be safe out here, man, and go and get this money. Thank you.